time to whoosh whoosh! So this video is to help support parents in their child's development. If you haven't seen us play with this puzzle yet, please check out our other videos where we just play directly with the puzzle as if we're playing with your child. For this video, we wanted to give a little coaching and a little bit of tips around how to play with a puzzle in a way that will facilitate the best language development for your child. So when we pick something like this, we're kind of thinking of a child maybe who has some words but not many, or a child with no words yet. So primarily your kind of first words kiddos. And so what we would do is we would bring out just one piece, one puzzle, and then we would have all the puzzle pieces in a Ziploc bag that we hold on to as the parent. So I have the Ziploc bag with me, and I don't have all the puzzle pieces out for the child to take. And the primary reason we do that is if all the puzzle pieces were out on the table or on the floor, the child would just be able to pick them up and play with the puzzle, and they wouldn't necessarily get all the great language input that we're able to give when we hand it to them one by one. When we hand them the puzzle pieces, we would be giving them to them one at a time, so they'd be seeing the item, hearing the word multiple times, and also we'd probably be holding the piece up to our face, so they would be also getting visual input from our mouth as to how to produce those sounds and how to say that word. So here's our Ziploc bag, and when we go to start an activity such as this puzzle, I would show the child the bag, and I might shake it and say, shake, 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 puzzle, and then I would model a gesture for open. So I would do a double tap, open, just like that, open, twice, maybe 3 times, and then I'd kind of leave it there and see if they imitated that gesture. Maybe they imitate the gesture, but they don't say the word. And if that's the case, that's great. We love seeing children imitate actions or gestures. I'm just going to model the word as they do it. Open, open. So that's your child, maybe just hitting it and I'm saying the word for them. So after they say open, I'm going to open up the bag, and then again, I'm going to hold on to this bag. I'm not going to let the child reach in and take the items out one by one at this point. Instead, I'm going to take out one item and I'm going to show them the item, and I'm going to just model a single word. I'm just going to say, or a sound that might be fun and motivating. So this item, you could choose train, or you could choose choo-choo. Either one would be appropriate and fine to do. I often choose choo-choo for this one. So I would say choo-choo, choo-choo, 2 or 3 times, and then I would just give the item to the child. And then, model where to put it if they're having trouble. But often children can identify a large item like this, and they would put it in. So when I'm handing them the pieces, I'm making sure, again, just to say a single word. I'm not asking, which one do you want? Oh, look at the bee. Here's the bee. Or do you want this one? Or anything like that. Instead, I'm just picking the one word that goes with this item as I give it to the child. And again, 2 or 3 times is ideal. So again, here I would go bee, bee, or you could do buzz, buzz, buzz. And so many of these items might just be the name. So apple, there's really no other way to call that other than apple. But, you might get to the dog item, and if your child isn't saying any sound when they see a dog, you could just do the animal sound. So you could say woof, 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 or anything like that, bow wow, bow wow, or you could just call it dog. And again, I'd do it 2, 3 times, dog, dog, let them put it in. And you kind of move along the puzzle, labeling, using a lot of repetition, and then also picking fun sounds. So maybe after I labeled this as plain, I would go boo, make some kind of fun environmental sounds as I move the plane around the puzzle. And another thing actually that just came to me right there was I often simplify words if I can simplify them in a way that we all use. So is this an airplane? Yes, absolutely, that's the proper word for it. But a simpler way to refer to this for a young child just learning to talk would be just to say plane. So I might take this one out and just call it plane. And then just be sure to label actions as well, because often actions to toddlers and young children is even more fun than labeling items. So as they put the puzzle pieces in, I like to say wiggle, 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 wiggle. And then sometimes I do wiggle, 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 yes! And I get really excited for them as they do it. So over and over, each piece they put in, I would say wiggle, 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 yes! Sometimes I do, when they put it in, I'll go ta-da, over and over again, and that seems to be really fun. A lot of kids like practicing or saying that one. So again, ideally you're not asking a lot of questions, and you're not using sentences. Instead, you're mainly using single words, providing a lot of repetition, holding the items, and giving them to them one by one. The other thing that maybe many of you have puzzles at home that you're missing a couple pieces and you're thinking, oh geez, I can't do this activity because I'm missing 3 of the pieces. Actually, I find that to be the most fun for children. Often what I'll do is I'll point out that they're missing. I'll point and I maybe label star or ball, and then I'll go missing, missing. Sometimes I'm like, oh boy! And those words, for some reason, are really exciting to children. Children love talking about things that aren't there, that they've noticed, that belong. So I would model that as well. And I would also just kind of watch your child and see what they're responding to. If they're really excited to do the puzzle and they're not really waiting for each piece, then maybe pick up your pace a little bit and hand them more quickly. Or let's say they put a few pieces in, and they're getting a little restless. Pay attention to what you're getting from your child or what you're noticing, and then maybe increase the pace. Or vice versa. Maybe you're giving them to them too fast and they're not having a chance to put them in. You really want them to put them in, focus on that, and then when they're done, look back at you to see what the next item might be. So for this particular puzzle, it's kind of fun and motivating because you can turn it around and then you can poke the items out. And this is another fun action word that young children love. It poke, poke, poke. Very repetitive, very fun. It goes along with what their action is. So be sure to do that. You can try changing the pace with that as well. Let's say they're getting a little bored, or they just want to poke them out really fast. I might slow it down. I might go poke, poke, poke. Whoopsies. So I might model the word a little more slowly to kind of slow down their pace, or vice versa. Model it more rapidly so it goes with their pace as well. And then in the end, after they've poked out all the pieces, you're going to bring back out your bag again, and you're going to show them the empty bag, and then you're going to model all done, 2 times, maybe 3. So pair that sign in there. This is an American Sign Language for all done. And maybe they imitate you, maybe they don't, but we're going to just model at this phase and show them a lot. After we're all done, we show them the all done sign, we're going to do cleanup, and we're going to sing the cleanup song, which I'll sing it now if you haven't heard it in one of the other videos. It kind of goes like this. Clean up, everybody, everywhere. Clean up, everybody do your share. Now the important thing when you're cleaning up something like this is don't expect a child to just instantly start putting the puzzle pieces in and you hold the bag. Instead, I would get down there and just put them in as well, and they're going to see you doing that, and then they're likely going to imitate you with that. At the end of the cleanup song, again, we like to choose kind of fun action words, and I'd go again with this one, go zip, or zip, 2-3 times is helpful. Yeah, and so that is one way to play with a puzzle that will expand your child's language. Please check out our other videos for more tips and ideas on supporting your child's development.